Hi guys. Today I want to talk about the masculine energies under the full moon. I feel an intensity in like a hiking intensity of the energies right now, and um, the masculine energy is, as we all know, is going through their awakening process, and full moons can heavily affect their awakening and their dark nights. And if you're in a twin flame connection, if you're in a spiritual connection, and you feel their energy, that could also affect you. The full moons are usually energies of closures and things coming to an end and manifestations. And I think this full moon is very powerful, depending on where it falls in the chart of your masculine. Um, it can bring closures, closing of cycles for them, or an urge to close a cycle. And like I've said in all my previous videos, these masculines are very hesitant towards change, and they resist it very strongly. And the harder they resist these energies, the bigger dismantling forces are gonna affect them. Um, this full moon is on July 4th, but you could be feeling the energies of it a few days before and a few days after. Um, the energies usually linger around strongly for a week, a couple of days before and a couple of days after the time of the full moon. So this weekend could be very heavy energy wise for both feminine and masculine. Um, I think that some things are still secret under the moonlight. The moonlight is very dreamy, very shadowy. It's not bright like the sun, and I think after the full moon, a lot of things are gonna come to the surface. They're gonna come. The veil is gonna be lifted, and the masculines are going to see the truth of their situation. If they are in karmic cycles, they're going to see the truth about that. I strongly feel that a lot of these masculines are dealing with family issues and financial issues. Um, these these issues could be related. It could be financial issues related to the family, or it could be separate. They might have family drama and trouble, and also financial problems at work. But I think that um, these financial problems are a form of a wake-up call from the universe to help them see their situation and become aware of the kind of cycle they're in and do something about it. But like I said, a lot of them are very hesitant towards change, and a lot of them are very um, they try to hold on and grab tight to what they have so far, thinking that that's their life and that's their family and that's how things are and that's how things should be. And if they are with a partner, that's the soulmate for their life. If they are in a family situation, that's how it's worked for generations, and there's nothing that they can do about it. And this is not all masculines, but I feel a lot of them are in this scenario of their current life, their foundations being broken down, and they feel the shakeup, and they feel the lack of balance and stability in their core. Because so far a lot of these masculines have based their stability on their financial stability, their own internal stability that comes from the root chakra. A sense of stability is basically built upon their financial security, their jobs, their homes, their cars, their belongings, their assets. And I feel a lot of them have been providers for their families and their surroundings. Their environment has been feeding off of them. And right now that the universe is turning their life upside down, and their situation is not as stable as it used to be, um, these codependent ties are becoming more highlighted, becoming more bold, and as they awaken, as they open their eyes and see, if they let the guidance get into them, because I really feel that these guys are building, every time there's a crack in their shield, they build a new one, and they try to hide inside. But if they open their eyes and see what their relationships are really based on, they will see that um, everything in the relationships were based on financial gain. Um, the relationships that they formed with people and the relationships that people formed with them was all based on some kind of financial codependency, or material gain, or image, or a sense of privilege, or a sense of keeping a mask of I have it all, or I'm successful, or I'm comfortable, or I am um, educated, or I am. It's more the image, and even the finances comes. It's feeding that image. It's feeding that sense of show off to their environment, and with that lack of money, that mask is being shattered, and once the coins are have run out, they really don't have anything else to hold on to, because these guys have never worked um, on their own personal values, on their own self, on their souls. They haven't um, invested into themselves. They have invested into their environment. They have worked outside of themselves, not inside themselves. A lot of them have confidence issues. A lot of them don't recognize their skills. A lot of them may not know what they're good at. They may not know what they can do, what they can build, what their capabilities are, how strong they are, or how smart they are. They're totally blocked. I believe in their root. In most of their chakras are blocked, and the self-awareness is not there, and that's why their life is at a standstill, at stagnation, and it's not moving forward, because everything and everyone in their life was revolving around their finances and their image, and now that is shattered, and that is shaken up, there is nothing else to hold on to. So I feel a lot of these masculines are feeling naked. A lot of them are very defensive. They may not. They feel very exposed. I keep seeing a naked man um, hugging his knees and trying to hide away from the society, or hide away from himself, basically, to not see himself so vulnerable and so exposed and so naked. Um, I also feel that they are being pressured by people closest to them, and these people are eventually, if they haven't so far, they will eventually show their colors. And um, I think a lot of these masculines, including my own, they have been aware of the people in their environment. They have been aware of their colors and their intentions, and the kind of ties that they have with them, and how they've been used all their lives. But they always turned ahead towards that. I mean, away from that, and they try to ignore it. They try to not see it. And many of these masculines are empaths, like I said before. They don't like drama, and they don't like to argue. They don't like to fight. They don't like negative energies. They try to stay away as far as they can from confrontations. So if they saw what people in their environments are really about, what their true colors are, what kind of ties are formed between them, they were not confronting those people about it. They never did, and they just submitted, and they pretty much got the same thing from their environment that they are delivering to you, that they have delivered to you as a feminine. They are being treated by their environment the way they treated you, and it's just like whatever they got from their environment, they delivered to you, and whatever you gave to them, they delivered to their environment. You gave them love, you gave them support, you gave them your warmth, your light. You were always there for them, and they took all of that and they put all of that into a toxic environment that they're in. So they've been givers and desperately attached to their people, just the way that the feminine was attached to the masculine in the beginning. That is why it is very important for the feminines to detach from the masculine energy and do your own thing, invest in yourself. That will help the masculines also to do that, because they will not have your energy to invest into their situations. A lot of these masculines they might go to the feminines for sexual needs, they might go to them for emotional needs, for support, for mental support, whenever things fall down in their environment. And once you fill them up and you give them your light and you give them your support and all the positivity, then they just feel good about themselves again, and then they go off again. And that is the dynamic of most of these connections, until you decide to pull that off and unplug them from your source of energy and your source of happiness, and leave them be. And that is, I think, at this time of the full moon, it is very important for the feminines to do that, to stay detached and to stay focused on your own path, and leave them be, leave them to deal with their own crap. These guys have been trapped into their toxic situations for years. They could be in a toxic marriage. They could be in a toxic situation with their parents. They could be in a very codependent bond with a partner. A lot of these people, like I said, they have chosen, their choices have been based on material gain, and I feel that the universe has found a way to show them otherwise, and to deliver them with their karma. That even if people that they chose had internal values, even if they were good people, even if they were valuable people, the choice that they made, the reason that they entered those relationships, whether it's career or personal, was because of some kind of gain out of those situations, and because of some kind of an image, because of how good those situations looked on paper. How can I brag about this situation? How can I brag about my job? How can I write down that my person or my situation or my work or my family has all these things that I can talk about, and I can show off, and I can fill my empty voids through these things. And every time I post video here like this, or every time I talk about these things, I get attacked by my masculine and his karmics, because these are triggering issues for the masculine. They are aware of it, and that's why it's triggering them. Most of them know that their environment is not healthy. And I think this full moon is going to shine some light on some of the toxic situations that these people are dealing with. If they have a very toxic bond with a controlling parent, I feel that a lot of these masculines are dealing with somebody in their environment that is very controlling, and this controlling person could be either a mother or a feminine. These masculines have issues with feminine energies. They have been controlled most of their life by feminine energies. Um, and this control could be because of financial reasons, because of financial support, because of image, because of the person that's controlling them has some kind of leverage on them. Like I know for my masculine, the leverage for that person that's controlling him is his choices in his life and his failures, and that person is using those failures um, to guilt trip him and to put him down in order to make him feel smaller than he is. And when somebody is trying to make you feel small, it's only to control you or to have a leash on you. Um, you have to you have to make someone feel not good about themselves in order to submit to what you want, and that's what these controlling people are doing to the masculines. They are making them feel guilty about their life, about their choices, about their marriages if they have married, about their children if they're not, if they have to provide support for their kids, about their jobs, about their moves, about anything and everything that they have done in their life. The controlling person, the narcissist in their environment, finds something that is some kind of a weakness or some kind of um, I'd say weakness for that masculine, a trigger for that masculine, and they're holding it like a stick above their head to rule them around and push them around. And a lot of that is either by force or by blackmail, guilt tripping, or by emotional manipulation. If, for example, if this is a role of a mother, is the narcissist in their environment, they can easily emotionally manipulate the masculine and um, bring up guilt tripping them over values such as supporting older parents or providing for your parents, financially support them. Oh, we've been there for you when you were a child. We've put all our life into you. It's guilt tripping, right? Um, I'm sure that we all see some of that in our family dynamic at some point. That the parents start guilt tripping the child if they want something out of their child, if they want some kind of a response or some kind of support. They always a toxic parent would always go back to I gave birth to you, I provided for you, I raised you, we didn't have money but we gave you everything, and whoever you are today is because of us, and tightening that chain around the masculine's neck, um, to keep them leashed and to keep them controlled. And I think that a lot of these masculines are uh, they are dealing with these issues. Seeing them for what it is very painful, because then you would have to admit that you were not having a caring family, and these masculines are empaths. Like I said, they are very sensitive, they are emotional, even if they're not showing it, they feel a lot of emotions inside them, and these emotions are running very deep inside them. They are your counterpart, they are like you, so whatever you feel, they are capable of feeling as well. So admitting these issues is very difficult, because then suddenly a family that looks so fulfilling and so always there and so happy, and you try to blind yourself on all of their troubles and all of their traumas and all of their problems, and everything that hurt you, you try to blind yourself onto that, then now suddenly you have to see that, and suddenly it feels like you never had a family, you never had support, you never had love, you never had unconditional love. It was always conditioned. It was always, if you did this, you were loved. If you were like that, if you acted like that, you were approved. If you walked between these certain lines, you were cherished by your family, and you were loved, and you were and they would be proud of you. If you walked on the line or got out of your line, or got out of, if you pulled on your leash, then they wouldn't approve that. They wouldn't, they would talk about you, they would disregard you, they would disapprove, they would tell you that they're disappointed with you, and they would guilt trip you and all that. So I believe that even if your masculines are in a relationship with another partner, that relationship is also the result of the karma that the masculine has to deal with their family, with their parents, with their siblings. Their karma has started at home, and it ends at home. A lot of feminines think that the women that the masculine dates or sleeps with, or talks to, the woman that they chose over you, if they're with a partner right now, or their wives, and all that, they think that's the karma, or that's the obstacle between you, or that's the blockage on your connection. But that is not true. The truth is, these karmic cycles started from past lives, and it started from their childhood at home with their original family, with their parents. And the karma with the parents it's very strong. It can root in so many different areas of the masculine's life. It could have to deal with their emotional stability, with lack of confidence, lack of self-love. A lot of these masculines are feeling unworthy of love. That's why they try to focus on their cash. That's why they feel incapable of loving unconditionally and receiving love. They don't believe that there could be anybody out there that can love them for what they are and who they are, and just the way they are. Because just the way they are has never been loved by their family. Just the way they are is never good enough. Just the way they are is, there's always something with it. Their parents were never happy with just the way they were. They had to be more than that. They had to be providing something special to be loved. They had to be a special way to be loved. So it is very difficult for them to believe that you, as a feminine, or anybody out there, could see them for who they are and love them for that. Even with all the flaws, even with all the mistakes, even with all the shortcomings in their character, they don't feel lovable, and they are not. They feel that they can't give that love, because they were not given that love in their family. They were not shown that support in their family, by their parents, by their siblings. They were always used and looked at as a resource, not as a child, not as a brother, not as a sister. They were looked at as a money bag, as a wall to lean on, as a foundation to stand on, as a ladder to go up. They were an object, and they were objectified by their family. And admitting and realizing this is very difficult. Even talking about it, for me as a feminine, it's very painful, because you learn early on that your family is your base, it's your core, it's your values, it's who you are. Your family is where you form your character, it's where you get your support. And suddenly saying that you never had that, it's like a wall crashing on them, and it's like it might even take away their identity. It could, and that's why they feel naked, because everything that they know of themselves, everything that they know about who they are, is programmed into them by their family and their surroundings, by their circles. And they don't have a sense of who they really are. They have always been um, showing off an aspect of themselves or showing off a certain image to be accepted by these families. So, and that image, um, for some time, it kept them happy, because they received that kind of they received a sense of acceptance and um, encouragement from their family for the image that they were showing off. But this image is, more often than not, this is far from who they are, far from who they truly are in their heart and in their soul. Um, a lot of these masculines are spiritual people. A lot of them can travel in the fifth dimension. A lot of them are, they have cosmic backgrounds. A lot of them are very intuitive. A lot of them have, they're very smart. They're very strong when it comes to manifesting, and they're very, they can think something, they can think something into life. They can bring it into life by just thinking about it. And I have seen that in my own masculine. He can think about something and it can just happen. um, and I'm not sure if he knows. He probably doesn't know that that's the case. um, and because they are stuck in a toxic environment, and because they're stuck in a whole lot of negativity, that's what they're manifesting, because that's all they're thinking about, and their power is used against them, um, because these people are not in an environment that they can grow, that they can thrive, that they can blossom. You can take, they're like a flower basically. You can take a flower to a desert, and you can take a flower to a garden. In the desert, the sun and the sandstorm and the heat and everything is going to kill it. In a garden, that same rose um, can blossom and can give little baby roses, and can be shiny and can be healthy and can live longer. Um, so I think a lot of these masculines are manifesting more trouble for themselves by staying in trouble. Some of them are, if you are telepathically talking to them, if you are, or you're trying to tell them about their situation, they might be very resentful towards you. They might be very defensive and guarded. They would tell you no, that everything is perfect in their life. They might try to tell themselves that everything is perfect in their life, that they don't have any problems, that everything is working out, that they're happy. And they have been deceiving everyone around them, and they have been deceiving themselves. And these deceptions have been going on for such a long time that it's all they know. But I think that these the energies, the cosmic energies, the full moons, the retrogrades, the divine is pushing them off of that, uh, out of that deceptive bubble, and exposing them to the truth of the matter, to the truth of their connections with other people, the truth of themselves, and what they need to do for their life to get out of that situation. A lot of these masculines may not even be looking for love. They might be just focused all their attention on money and on their jobs and on their stability, um, because that's what their first awareness is towards. That's where the stability comes from. And that is a good thing, in a sense, that something is poking at them, and something is making them realize, hey, um, you need to do something about your life. You need to look at your problems. And honestly, I think that until they admit that they have wounds, and admit that they have to do their shadow work, and until they heal their personal wounds, and deal with their own personal issues from within, their outer environment is not going to change. They might change partners, they might change jobs, they might change homes, they might change cities and countries, but they only end up carrying karma with them. Um, these cycles need to be realized. The karma needs to be looked at. Um, you need to see where your problems are stemming from in order to cut the toxic branch. If a plant um, is dying, you need to look at it and look to see if it has some healthy branches, and it's worth rescuing. You should just see where the toxicity is coming from and cut that off. And you want that toxicity to stay in your branches and not getting to your roots, because once the roots are toxic and bad, then you can't save yourself. So if as long as all this toxicity is in your environment and you still can do something about it, you have to cut the sources, even if those sources are your parents, even if they are your siblings, even if they are your friends, even if they are dear to you, even if it's your if it's a toxic partner. um, you have to cut those sources, and you have to look into yourself, within yourself, um, to see what triggers you, why there are triggers out there for you, why are you not open to receiving love, why are you manifesting problems for yourself, why are you not thinking positively, why is your environment not healthy, and heal your wounds. um, Forgive yourself for the failures that you experienced in your life. Forgive yourself for all the guilt tripping that you received from whoever was controlling you, and release that person. You don't have to cross them out of your life. You don't have to cut all contacts with them. It's very difficult to cut contacts with parents, especially if they are older and they need your support. But you can be aware of how much they have, how much control they have on you, and put boundaries for yourself, to protect yourself against these energies, and to pull yourself out of this kind of environment, and give yourself love and give yourself attention. A lot of these masculines are not taking care of themselves, and I feel that this moon is going to bring some deep emotional issues that could lead to physical issues for them too. They could be experiencing heart pain, or chest pain, back pain, stomach issues, skin issues, and all of this is a result of long-term problems that have been inside them, and they haven't purged it, they haven't dealt with it. A lot of our physical problems stem from emotional and mental stress. So I also feel that this moon is going to help them realize who has been there for them, and who has been supportive, and who has been caring and providing for them. And it might change their perception of life, and perspective on where they need to be and what they need to be doing from this point on. Keep in mind that Aries is in Mars is in Aries, and Mars is a masculine planet in its home. So these are a lot of energies that are focused on home environment, and it's about taking action towards your home environment, towards your base, and defining where your home is. Um, is your home where your parents are, and where all the toxic energies are, and where all the codependency is? Is your home another person? Is your home your job? Where is your base? And deciding that maybe you should put your base inside yourself. Maybe it needs to be your heart. Maybe it needs to be your own environment, your higher self, your any something that benefits you as a person, rather than benefiting other people as a result of your connection with them. basically shifting the focus from outside inwards. I feel that if the masculines would take a break and go into hermit mode, and reflect on the path that they have walked so far, they will realize where they need to put their focus on, and what areas in their life needs attention and needs healing. So this is it for now. That's what I wanted to discuss. The energies of the full moon are very strong, and they are very turbulent. They affect some months, especially Scorpios, Cancers, Pisces. The water months, the emotional months, are being affected more heavily. Or if you have a planet in any of those zodiacs, you will feel those the moon energies stronger. Stay balanced and stay safe. Get out into the nature and ground yourself. And this full moon is in an earth sign. It's more about stability and earth energies. It's not, thankfully, it's not in a water sign, but still, it's an eclipse, and eclipse energies are about endings and about closures. You might feel a closure in your connection with your masculine. You might want closure in your connection with your masculine as well. It could be a sense of a break, but don't worry about that. Let them go, because these people are not healthy for you as a feminine. You have already gone through all this toxic crap. You have already gone through your dark nights. You have already gone through your awakenings, and you're in a higher energetic level. Don't let their toxicity and their thirst for your energy get you down and get you out of your path and get you sidetracked. Because I feel that as the moon causes turbulence in their heart and in their energies, they might come to you to suck on your energy, and to it could be their higher self, not even they may not contact you physically in the 3D, but their higher self will come and try to get something out of you. And trust your intuition if they do. Trust your gut on what you feel. If some of them are doing work on themselves, and some of them are growing as towards their divinity and towards their emperor powers, but a lot of them are in a transitional place, and they could easily fall back into their old ways. So be careful and protect yourself. Don't easily give in to their negativity, because that will bring toxicity to your situation as well, and then you have to start doing all that work that you already have done all over again. I had this image of my own masculine. Last night I was dealing with a lot of energies, and even though I was in an environment with other people, I was feeling his energy strong, and I was feeling his karmics as well. I was feeling his mother's energy, and that was very. I have been feeling her here and there sometimes, attacking me and talking to me and trying to push me out of his life. Um, and every time that happens, I feel that it could be because he's getting closer, but at the same time, there you guys need to have protection against these spiritual attacks from the karmics and from your masculine. Last night I was feeling that he had so many weights and chains around his ankles, that I was trying to pull him out of the ditch that he is in, but he was so heavy that I couldn't pull him out. And he was dragging me down, so I had to let go. And I let him go, and he slipped back into the hole. And it's very painful to watch these things. It's very painful to have these images. But keep in mind that you can't save other people. They need to do the work themselves. They need to fix their life themselves. They need to grow. A lot of these masculines are in teenage energies. They are very immature emotionally and mentally. Um, they need to go through their shed in order to get out on the other side, and know what life is truly about, because most of these guys have been living in an illusion all their lives, and they lack self-awareness, and they don't know themselves. They don't know who they are. They don't know what they're good for. And you don't want all of that lack of worth and lack of self-love to infect your life. So let your people go, let your masculines go, and focus on yourself and your life. If you want to go out there and date, do that. There are other people. You don't have to wait for your masculine. That guy is always going to be there, energetically. You're connected with them. Don't wait for them. Don't wait for no one. Your life is. Don't let life pass you by. Live it. Live every day of it, and enjoy it. Um, and don't let your masculine's energies, these guys are heavy energy vampires right now. Don't let their energy suck on you. Don't put your boundaries in, even energetically, and move forward with your life. And if these people are meant to be in your life, if they're meant to be for you, if they can grow to align themselves with you, they will find you. And trust that if somebody is for you, they won't pass you by. And if they're not for you, and you're keeping yourself stuck with them and with their energies, you're just losing um, some very good days out of your life, being chained to some toxicity that is not even yours to deal with. Their karma is for them to deal with. Focus on your thing and your plate and what's on it, and try to manifest abundance for yourself. Try to manifest a loving relationship for yourself. Even if you want your masculine to come back to you, focus more on the kind of relationship that you want. Focus on the kind of love that you deserve, the kind of attention that you deserve, what you want your person to give to you, what kind of things you want in your life. Focus on that. And if your masculine is able to provide that, he will be there. Sometimes I feel that my job is technical, and sometimes I look at these our wanting a relationship with these masculines as um, soul sourcing a job, or putting a job out for bid. And soul sourcing is just when you award a very expensive job, a very rewarding job to one company, and that company is the only company that can do that job, or you wanted that company only to do the job, and you didn't care how the job would end up. You just trusted that company to do the job, and that company is your only source. They can screw up your job, and or they can do a good work, and you don't know that, but you have to give that reward under the contract. But putting a job out for bid is like when you define what kind of product you want, what kind of service you want, and then other companies, multiple companies, come and bid on your job, and they compete to get that job, and then you have choices, you have selections, you can select what's best for you and what matches to your criteria. Like, it's the difference between putting all your hopes and dreams into one person, that's your divine masculine, that's your counterpart, and these people may not be capable of giving what you want. They may not be capable of providing you with a sense of a stability, a commitment, loyalty, and all your values, or anything that you might want in a relationship. They may not be in a position to provide you with that. And when you soul source them, when you only focus on them, then you put yourself up for failure, because these guys are going to disappoint you. They're not able to provide that service, that product that you asked for. But if you focus on the kind of product, like the product being a relationship here, like I want a loving relationship, I want a commitment, I want, I don't know, let's say I want a house in whatever part of the city, I want to have children, I want to live in whatever area, I want to have this and I want to have that, and this is gonna be what my life looks like. The kind of things that you might expect from your person to give to you. I want them to be loving, to be honest, to be committed, to be loyal, to be devoted, and all that, or to be handsome, or to be whatever you want from your person. You focus on the qualities of that person, and allow the universe to send people that match that quality towards you, and then you have choices, and then you can select who you want, and who's best for you, and that way, if your masculine doesn't match, then you still end up with someone um, that can fulfill you and that can make you happy. Or if your masculine can work themselves up and match that scenario, then they already have that leverage of spiritual connection with you, that could put them priority on your list. Okay, so don't fear, if there is a closure in your relationship, if there is a closure in your connection, if you feel a sense of pull away from them, or if you did pull away from them, don't be afraid of the death process. The death is only a transformation and transition from the old to the new. It could be painful, it could be triggering, it could be emotional, but it will pass. It's like a storm, it never lasts. So hold up tight, and ground yourself, so your foundation is stable, and so you don't be shaken up when the energies pass by. Okay, guys, take care, and have a good weekend.